All right, we are live. Say hello.
Hello.
Great. Well, we're about to get started. And then I'm going to grab the other computer. Hello. Welcome. We are live again. We're doing another live stream lesson for everyone who has tuned into the past couple ones. We've done some swing, we've done some box steps, and today we're going to do some slow foxtrot. So it's a nice style, very romantic because we're in a nice closed frame. We can travel across the floor, so this is really good for weddings and parties and anything, any sort of event that you would go to where the music is a nice even beat. So we can go ahead and get started first with a couple basics. I also will take some time to pause in between things to make sure that we don't have any questions. And if anyone has any questions, then feel free to ask. Just shoot us a comment. We will comment back. And we can go ahead and get started in just a couple minutes or in a minute or two while we are getting a little warmed up and getting some more people tuned in. So we'll get started in just 1 minute. All right, so I will be your instructor today. My name is Megan, and Allie will be assisting me. And if you, again, have watched any of our other videos that we've done, obviously we have helped with the box step and with the single swing. So now Allie and I are going to teach you the slow foxtrot. So getting started with the slow foxtrot, before we do this, we actually want to warm up with just a little leading and following exercise. Since the slow foxtrot is a traveling dance, it's going to require a lot of that good leading and following. And so we do want to make sure to warm up first before we do this. So we're going to do something called the shopping cart exercise. You've probably seen us do this before if you've tuned into either of our live streams. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to put my arms out in front of me just like this. Allie is going to put her arms on top of mine. And we are going to just walk around in the space just like we are at the grocery store. I'm just taking Allie shopping, so we're going around. We can use up any space. We can also move throughout our space, so rotating around, making sure that we don't run into anything, and just continuing to move our feet. So something else that we want to do is, we're actually going to take a step back so you can see our feet. When we start this, so if I'm leading, I want to make sure that I'm raising my arms to meet Allie's arms. Allie's giving me all of the weight in her arms. That way we're really connected right here. So this connection is nice and strong. Something else we want to do is we want to make sure to step forward with the left foot if I'm a leader and back with the right if I'm a follower. So we want to make sure that we're stepping at the same time. So followers really wait to feel that push from your leader in order to take that step back. If you're having a hard time feeling that push, just relax your arms down. Leaders, make sure that you are really pushing up with your arms. You want to push up just through your arms right here. You don't want to raise your shoulders like this. You just want to push forward, up and forward with those arms. So go ahead and do a couple laps in the shopping cart. Once you feel comfortable in this, then we can go ahead and get into that slow foxtrot basic. I'll go ahead and grab our, make sure that there aren't any questions or comments, and then we can get started with the slow foxtrot basic. But go ahead and practice your leading and following just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the slow foxtrot basic. So I will go ahead and start with the leader's footwork. So if you are leading, let's go ahead and start with 2 walking steps. The first walking step is going to be on your left foot, so I'm going to walk forward left, then I'm going to walk forward on my right foot, and then I'm going to take my left foot to the side and I'm going to go sway, sway. So I'll do this one more time. My left foot is going forward, I'm going left, I'm going right, and then I'm going sway, sway. So let's try this again. I'll walk towards the camera. Starting on that left foot, I go left, right, sway, sway, and then I repeat again, left, right, sway, sway. So a couple little details with this slow foxtrot basic. You want to make sure that when you're doing your sway, sway, that this step is nice and small. It's no more than shoulder width. You don't want to take a big sway, sway, because it's going to take up a lot more time if you are throwing your weight all the way over here and all the way over here. You can kind of get off balance a little bit, and you don't want to make your partner also fall off balance, so keep that step nice and small. Something else to keep in mind, we want to make sure that we are relaxing our knees, we're relaxing our hips. When we do that sway, sway, we want to make this a little lower in our bodies. If we're in our frame and we try to do too much with our upper bodies, we can look a little teapot-ish, so we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we relax in the knees, relax in the hips, and just keep that nice fluid feeling. So let's go ahead and do this again. We're going to do this with the timing. The timing for this is going to be a full 8 count. So what we're going to do, each step gets a beat. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, even that sway, sway to the side, that gets a full beat every time you take that side step. And then when you replace the weight onto the right foot, that is also another beat. So let's go ahead and try this again. Heading towards the front, we start with that left foot. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. So for my follower, timing is going to be exactly the same. We have that full 8 count. Each step gets a beat, but instead of going forward on the left foot, you're going back on the right foot. So followers, starting back with that right foot, I go back right, and then I'm going back left, and then I'm going to do my sway, sway. Again, keeping that nice and small. We go back right, back left, sway, sway. Let's turn around and do that again. Something else I want to keep in mind, I'm keeping my steps pretty narrow. I don't want to take really wide steps out to the side. I want to actually move backwards, straight backwards when I take that step, and then my side to side can be a little bit wider. But again, those walking steps, nice and narrow. So we're going to back up. We'll do that again with the timing. Starting on that right foot, we go right, left, sway, sway. Again, right, left, sway, sway. Nice. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and dance this together. We'll start first in our shopping cart position. So instead of going straight into a dance frame, we're going to go ahead and get back into that shopping cart that we started with. I'll go ahead and start over here so you can see. And again, as I'm leading, I will take a left step forward while my follower takes a back step with the right foot, and then we go sway, sway. So again, we go 1, 2, sway, sway. Again, 1, 2, sway, sway. Again, keeping that movement nice and small and a little lower with our hips. So let's go ahead and do that again. We'll go back the same way so you can see it from a different angle. We go slow, slow, sway, sway, slow, slow, sway, sway, slow, slow, sway, sway. Nice. So let me know if you have any questions about that basic or doing that basic with your partner. We want to apply the same principles that we did in our shopping cart to this basic, meaning for my followers, when you take that back step with that right foot, you want to wait for your leader to send you into that step. So leaders, make sure that you're raising those arms, sending your follower backwards. Follower, make sure that you are keeping just a little bit of resistance, maintaining a little bit of dance space between you and your leader, and then also waiting for that push, and that's what's gonna send you backwards. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Otherwise, we can get started with our dance frame, and we can start this step in a dance frame. So if you are a follower, I want you to go ahead and stand in front of your leader and put your arms out in a T, just like this. So leaders, I want you to go ahead and take your right arm, and you are going to karate chop under your leader's under your follower's left arm. Follower, go ahead and relax your arm on top of your leader's, and you want it to be nice and low. So we don't want to be all the way on top of the shoulder right here. We want to be, leaders, you want to keep your arm up so that you're touching the very bottom of your follower's shoulder blade. And follower, you want to make sure to relax your arm all the way and be right here where your leader's muscle kind of makes that V shape. We want to stay connected here because when we're going through this is basically the equivalent of our shopping cart. When I'm leading, I want to lift up and make sure that I'm sending my follower forward. This is how my follower is going to give me that resistance. And also, this is where you can lay all of your weight onto your leader, so that way you really feel that send up and that push back. With this hand in between the two of us, we want to make sure that we are in a nice clasp. We don't want to crisscross our fingers at all, because if we were to try to turn and we were to be crisscrossed, it would hurt. So we want to make sure to stay in a clasp. And this hand can also rest in between the two of us at about shoulder height. We want to make sure that it doesn't raise up any more than that. We also want to make sure that it's not all the way down here. It can be nice and relaxed, not too far towards the follower, not too far towards the leader. And once we're in this position, then we can go into our slow foxtrot basic. So I'm going to back us up just a little bit, because otherwise we're going to run into the pole. And we're going to head forward in our slow foxtrot basic. We go slow, slow, sway, sway, slow, slow, sway, sway, slow, slow, sway, sway. Great. So again, leaders, when you're in your dance frame, make sure that you're lifting up with those arms. Again, not your shoulders. You don't want to get too high with your shoulders. You want your shoulders nice and back and relaxed. It's just the arms that are raising, and you want to make sure that you are sending your follower forward with each step. It can be very tempting when you're still thinking about the footwork to kind of let those arms go down just a little bit, but you want to make sure that they stay nice and raised. Great. I'll go ahead and take a quick pause. Go ahead and practice that a couple of times, and then we'll do it to some music. But I want to make sure, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to let us know. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll go ahead and practice this step a couple of times with music just to get a little more comfortable with it, and then we'll go ahead and learn how to turn around. So the slow foxtrot, the great thing about it is it does not go the same direction, never ending, just one way. We do turn around, I promise, but we'll go ahead and touch on that in just a second. Let's go ahead and dance to some music. All right, so starting at the end, we'll go ahead and go 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll rotate around. We'll go again. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So as you can begin to hear that steady beat in the music, that's when you're going to take those steps. So you want to make sure that listen to the music for a second before you get started in this. Just make sure you hear that solid 8 count in the background, and then you can go ahead and start your slow foxtrot. So now let's go ahead and learn how to turn around. This step is called a left rock turn because we will be rotating over our left shoulder if you are the leader. So we'll go ahead and start with the leader's footwork. We're going to start without the rotation, and then we'll go ahead and incorporate the rotation. So for my leaders, just like in our basic, we want to take a step forward with that left foot. So we go forward left, and then instead of going forward with the right foot is actually going to go backwards, and then I do my sway, sway. So again, going forward with that left foot, I go forward left, and then back right, sway, sway. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn to the side so you can see this, because I really want to make sure, again, that this is a nice small step. I don't want it to be super big. And you'll also notice that I'm keeping my weight pretty equally distributed above both of my feet. So when I take this step forward, I'm going forward and then back and then sway, sway. I want to make sure that when I go forward, I'm not getting too top heavy and letting my upper body go, because I want to make sure that as soon as I can go forward, I can also come back a little bit easier. Especially once we add in the rotation, taking a little bit smaller of a step is going to tighten up that turn. It's going to make it very efficient. So we want to make sure that we keep that nice and small. And let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about the rotation, and then we'll break down the follower's footwork. When we go through our left rock turn, for now, we're going to stick to 45 degrees on the first step, 45 on the second, and then we'll land on 90. So we'll start with that 45-degree step going forward. So the very first step that I take already is going to be 45 degrees. The next step I take is also going to be 45 degrees, and then I'm going to do my sway, sway, now that I'm at my 90 degrees. What I want to keep in mind again is you want to make sure that you take that forward step and you want to already be starting that rotation. So you don't want to take this step out here or straight forward without also rotating your upper body. So when we're in our frame, again, keeping this elbow nice and high, making sure that our frame stays nice and strong. What I want to do when I take my very first step is when I take my 45-degree angle, it's not just my foot that's going 45, it's my frame. And then also when I do that second 45, same thing, I want to keep rotating my frame, and then I want to sway, sway. I want to make sure that my foot doesn't go without my shoulders, otherwise my follower is going to have no idea what's going on. So I want to make sure shoulders go first, the feet will follow. My feet can go out, they can turn in, they can go any way independently of the rest of my body. But as soon as I rotate and I start twisting from here, my feet have to go eventually. So I want to make sure that shoulders go first, my body goes first, my feet will follow. So again, starting in that nice frame, we go forward at 45, back at 45, and then we sway, sway. And the timing is just the same as the basic step. This is going to be our 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do a couple of these in a row just so you can see them from a couple different angles. So we'll go ahead and start facing this back wall. We'll go ahead and rotate all the way around doing a 360. Each one is going to hit about 90 degrees. So we start with that left foot first. We go slow, slow, sway, sway. Again, 45, 45, and now I'm at 90. Again, we're gonna go 45, 45, 90. One more, 45, 45, and 90. Great. Again, keeping those side steps nice and small. Small steps all the way around, keeping those turns tight, efficient, and we also want to make sure upper bodies are going first. So keep that in mind, leader. We're gonna break down the follower's footwork and then we'll dance it together. So for my follower, you are going back with that right foot just like you normally do, but then the left foot is going to come forward. So instead of what we normally do, which is 2 backward steps, right foot is going to go forward and then we sway, sway. So this is a step without the rotation. I go back, right, forward, left, sway, sway. And something to keep in mind, followers, is your step will rotate because your leader is going to be rotating you. So you don't want to take this step assuming how much you're going to rotate. You want your leader to actually take care of that for you. So when you go through this, you will be also at your 45, 45, but this first 45 is going to be up to your leader. Same thing with the second step, and then we sway, sway. But how we're going to make sure that we stay really close and we create those tight, efficient turns is we're going to take our left step forward between our leader's feet. So what I don't want to do when I take this back step is go back at an angle and then out here and super wide at an angle and then sway, sway. It's going to make my sway, sway really hard, and it's going to make me work extra hard to get all the way around my leader in order to rotate. So we want to create a pivotal axis point that we both are going to turn on, and how we're going to do that again is taking that back step, and this forward step should go right between your leader's feet. Sway, sway. So we're going to get together and try this step. We're going to show you at a couple different angles without the rotation, and then we can incorporate the rotation in. So starting here, without rotation, we go forward, back, sway, sway. And something to keep in mind, so I'll do this from another angle, so leader, you can kind of see, as we're taking that back step, I'm not keeping my frame so loose that Allie is falling into my hand. Our frame should be firm enough that when Allie takes that back step, she already feels that pull to come forward. So if you find that your follower is taking that step and then is tempted to take another one and falling back into your hand, keep that frame a little bit tighter, and it should look like this. You want to catch your follower's left foot before it has a chance to go backwards. We'll show you this from one more angle. So we go forward, back, sway, sway. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and then we'll go ahead and add in the rotation. All right, so incorporating this rotation into your left or your basic step in your slow foxtrot. So again, what I want to make sure to do as a leader is when I take this first step, my shoulders are already rotating 45 degrees. And then when I take this step again, I want to make sure my follower is stepping in between my feet. We're rotating again, and then we sway, sway. So if we're facing this way and we're facing the camera straight on, this is 45 and then 45, and then we rotate. So I'll show you that again. This is already at 45 already, and then we sway, sway. So looking at it from a couple different angles, notice that as I rotate this first step, I'm almost stepping between Allie's feet. I'm stepping right at her right foot as it goes backwards. She's stepping in between my feet, and then we do our sway, sway. Again, we want to create those very tight, efficient turns. The wider our steps get, the looser the turn is going to get. We're not going to be able to get around. If we need to get around to a higher degree, more than 90, it's totally possible, but not if we take these big, wide steps. If you ever watch figure skating in the Olympics, This is one thing that I like to think of when I'm doing the left rock turn is the figure skaters when they are doing those really wide turns and then they bring all of their limbs in and their turns get a lot faster and they whip around really quickly. The same thing applies to the left rock turn. As soon as we tighten up that turn, it's going to be way more efficient. We're going to be able to do more rotation in less amount of time. So let's show you one example of what not to do. So if I'm the leader, and I'm here, and my frame, I'm not rotating my shoulders when we go through this, and I just take this back step out, Allie's gonna have no idea where we're going, and then it'll turn into a really wide turn. Also, for my follower, not stepping between your leader's feet. If I'm stepping forward towards Allie and then she's stepping out here, then she has to go all the way over here, and we get very off balance. So we wanna make sure followers step between your leader's feet. Leader, rotate your frame first. That is the key. So let me know if you have any questions about this left rock turn. We're gonna do a couple of these to music and then we'll go ahead and combine it with the basic step. So that way you'll be able to travel across the dance floor, turn around, and head in any direction that you'd like to go. So let's go ahead and dance a little bit to music. Five, six, seven, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So something that you might have noticed towards the end of that is Allie and I were actually doing bigger rotations, about 180, more than 90, obviously. And this is something that as you get more comfortable with the left rock turn, you can play with a little bit more, rotating that frame around just a little bit more. It is not a set 90 degrees with the left rock turn. It can be however big or little you want it to be. But again, the key to this is making sure that leader, you tell your follower exactly how much you want to rotate, and also keeping your steps small, making sure that we're stepping in between each other's feet. And as you begin to practice those things, that is when you're going to be able to experiment a little bit more with the degree in which you rotate. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and connect the basic to the left rock turn and do everything together so you can see how we can travel across the dance floor. All right, so combining the basic and the left rock turn, as we go through these steps, one is going to come immediately after the other. We want to make sure that we're not pausing in between our basic and our left rock turn. We continue with that every step gets a beat. And we'll go ahead and start down here so we can kind of show you. What I like to do is put things into small patterns. That way it helps me remember and it helps us keep moving so we don't have to stop and think about what we're doing. So the pattern that we're going to do right now is 2 progressive basics heading this way, and then we're going to do 2 left rock turns to turn us around. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. So starting with this progressive basic, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and once we get down here, then I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we have rotated about 180 degrees and we can head back the way that we came. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then once we get around, we can turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. So now we're going to combine all of this without any stopping in between. So we're just going to go through our pattern. We're going to go down with those 2, turn around, and we're going to come on back. No pauses in between. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. So let me know if you have any questions about combining the basic with the left rock turn. And the left rock turn, again, you can rotate it as much or as little as you'd like. So if you don't quite have enough room to do 2 basics in a row and you want to do 1 basic, left rock turn, go into another basic, totally fine to make your own pattern. You can either do specific patterns based on numbers, like we just did 2 and 2, or I also like to make shapes. So I could go down this way doing 1, and then kind of rotate around and do a triangle if I wanted to, just with 1 left rock turn at each point, and then a basic to connect all of those points. So start thinking about putting things into a pattern, especially depending on what kind of space you're in. You might not have all the room to do two basics in a row, so you might need to do 1, then 2 left rock turns, turn around, and get back. So we're going to go ahead and put this to music, and we're going to do a shape instead of our 2 and 2. So you're going to be able to see this from a couple different angles. We are going to go in a little bit of a square, so we're going to do 1 basic, 1 left rock turn, 1 basic, 1 left rock turn, and so on and so forth, making sure that we are hitting all these points and that you can see it from every angle. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to do a little dancing to some music. Five, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Just saying hi to everyone who's here. Hello, everyone. I see we have someone tuning in from New Zealand. So hi from Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. It's very snowy here. I don't know what it's like where you are, but we are in the middle of a winter storm right now. So let me know if you have any questions about the step. Otherwise, we do have time to add a little bit of a spin to this, something that you can kind of practice a little bit later on. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, let's go ahead and do a little spin. All right, so for this spin, we're going to be doing a clockwise turn for my followers. And we're also going to be using the same footwork that we used for the left rock turn. The left rock turn with the additional spin is not going to rotate. So what we want to make sure to do is use that same forward and back footwork. And we still want to sway, sway. No rotation. We want to just keep this facing the same direction so it's easy for our followers to do. So starting with my leader footwork and leader arm work, what I want to do is start, of course, forward with that left foot, just like we have been doing, forward left. We go back right, and then when I'm doing my sway, sway, I'm drawing a clockwise circle above my follower's head. I want to make sure this is really close to my follower's head. I want to make sure that we're not raising all the way too high. If we do that, it's going to pull our follower in a certain way, and again, make us a little top heavy. We want to make sure to keep this turn nice and grounded. It's how we're going to be able to keep moving out of it quickly and efficiently. So when we go through this, again, I'm going forward with my left. When I take that back step, I'm actually going to drop my right arm, and this is going to be the turn signal. So I have to make sure that I put on my blinker before I make my turn or before I try to switch lanes. So again, I go forward, back, I drop this arm, and then we can turn clockwise over my follower's head. And the most important part is to make sure that you keep your feet moving. So you don't want to stop and just watch your follower turn, because then your weight will not be where it should be to continue into the next step. So you want to make sure that you are actually moving your feet, doing that sway, sway when your follower is turning. For my followers, when you go through this turn, you're going to start with that back step right, forward step left, and then wait until that third step to take that turn. So I go back with that right foot, back right, forward left. I want to take a side step with my right foot. I'm rotating around 360 degrees, putting all of the weight onto my left foot, and then my right foot is free to go into whatever else after that. The thing to make sure what you're doing as a follower is one of the biggest things. Don't look down when you're going through that turn, and also keep your steps very small. So again, first thing, don't look down. You will make yourself very dizzy. Try to look at your leader for as long as possible, and then when you can't see your leader anymore, whip your head around and find your leader again. The other thing to make sure to do is don't raise up onto your toe and straighten that leg. We don't want to go higher. Again, we want to make this turn nice and grounded. And like I said, keep those steps small. It's very important. If you take this side step way too big and you turn all the way out here, then you're super far away from your leader. You want to stay close to your leader, and how you're going to do that, small step to the side right here, and then we rotate, drop all the weight onto that left foot, and then the right foot is free to keep going. And you will not be doing this by yourself. Hopefully your leaders will be helping you through that turn so you won't feel as unstable, or you won't feel like you can't get all the way around. You want to make sure that you are rotating yourself just a little bit, but your leader should also be giving you that extra momentum that you need to get around 360. We can also collect our followers back into the frame and keep going into whatever's next. So leader, just make sure that you are helping your follower and getting into that frame afterwards and keeping things moving. So we'll go ahead and do this step together. To give you an example, we'll start facing this direction. We'll rotate in a second. So I'm going to take my step forward. I'm going to take my step back, drop this hand. We're doing this turn, and then I get back into my frame. So again, left rock turn footwork without the rotation. Then we do this turn on the sway, sway. I'll rotate so you can see. So we go forward, back, turn, around. Yeah. Let's try it from another angle. We go forward, back, turn, around. Great. I'll do it one more time so you can see from the back for the leader. We go forward, back, turn, around. And notice I'm stepping, making my steps still in place. I'm still doing my sway, sway. Something to keep in mind. So when we do this, we can add this in anywhere in our pattern. Whenever you feel like you're ready to do this, go ahead and drop that right arm, stop doing that rotation, make sure your follower is coming with you, drop that right arm, go through this turn. So we're going to go ahead and put this into a sequence of left rock turns. So I'm going to do 2 left rock turns, and then the third one is going to be the spin. So starting facing this direction, I'll do the first one. We'll rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the second one. My third one, we stop rotating. I drop the arm, turn around. And then we can get back into that again. So we'll go ahead and do that 2 times in a row, but I did want to point out one other thing. When you are going into this step leader and you want to give your follower that extra little pull back to say, hey, we're not going into a regular basic, we're also not doing a left rock turn, you want to make sure that you are pulling your follower with you just a little bit or guiding your follower with you, then you can drop the arm. If you drop the arm too soon, your follower is still going to head back if you're doing a basic, or you also don't want your follower to assume you're doing a left rock turn and start rotating without you. So you want to make sure that you are bringing your follower with you, then you can drop the arm. So we'll go ahead and do this sequence 3 times in a row. So 3 left rock turns, 2 rotate, 1 has the turn. So we go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one's the turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's the turn. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. This one's the turn. Great. Again, notice leader, I'm keeping that hand very close to Allie's head. We don't want to raise it too high and extend up because it's going to make our followers a little uneasy. Follower is something else to keep in mind when you come around from that turn and you put the weight on your left foot. Feel free to bend those knees just a little bit too. Something that can happen is if you kind of fall out of it and you hit that leg really hard, you can still feel a little unstable coming out of it. The best way to make sure that you feel stable enough to go into the next step is coming out of that, putting the brakes on with that left foot and relaxing into that knee. So let me know if you have any questions about any of these steps. Otherwise, we'll do a little dancing to music. Okay, so we will do a little dancing to music if no one has any questions for me, but I do want to obviously talk a little bit about the studio before we do one final dance and just a little bit about what we do here. So we do, obviously, if you follow our YouTube page, you see all of our custom or our choreography videos that we do, all of our pre-made choreography to certain songs. In the event that you know that you are or know anyone who is getting married or just would like to learn how to dance, we have those pre-choreographed dances that are super easy to learn, very beginner friendly. All of them are beginner friendly. So if you have no previous dance experience, that's totally fine. We walk you through everything step by step. We also, on our website, weddingfirstdancelessons.com, we have custom choreography. So if you are getting married and we don't already have choreography to your song, we would love to provide that for you. Just let us know when you're getting married, what your song is, and we can get you set up with a package that fits exactly what you want, depending on how difficult you'd like it to be. And then we also have a DIY wedding dance program. So if you get online and see that, you definitely can have access to all of the instructional videos that we provide. And then using your own creative ability, you can make your own dance out of the steps that we give you. And this is super fun. And also something else that we can do is any sort of online lessons one-on-one. So if you would like to Zoom us, have any questions about anything, feel free to head to our website, duetdancestudio.com, and set up a virtual lesson with us. Because we would love to talk about any of those programs, or we'd also, if you are local to Chicago, or even just want to come in studio for a lesson, we do also offer that. So we do love our online presence, but also what we do here we are right now in our studio. So if you are local to Chicago, we would love to see you come in for a lesson. Also, we recently launched a new monthly program. It's our date night program, and this is perfect for couples who really want to spice up their relationship. You can learn all of the basics to styles such as waltz and swing and tango and foxtrot and a couple different kinds of swing actually, and we even have some solo hip hop moves. If you are interested in any of that, all of those beginner steps are available, and that's going to be on our website, weddingfirstdancelessons.com. And members get to enjoy live streams like this, but they're exclusive for that program, and that'll be once a month just for members. You can get on and learn some fun things like dips and tricks and also maybe some lifts. And also we can combine some styles together. So if you liked the slow foxtrot, this actually combines really well with a style of swing. And you can do both styles to a lot of songs. And so combining some of those and also just learning how to dance to some more specific music, learning specific styles that you want to learn, that'll all be included in our monthly program. And you will have also access to any of our previous live streams. So if you started a little later and you want to go back and catch up, you'll have access to all of those. And they're, again, very easy to follow. Everything is beginner friendly. So if you have no experience, totally fine. Check that out. And we start beginner friendly, and then you can start to build on all those beginner steps. So something else that we're running right now is a Valentine's Day promotion for 15% off. So make sure to type in the code Valentine's Dance to get that extra 15% off. Again, that's Valentine's Dance, all lowercase, all one word. And you want to make sure to type that in for that extra 15% off. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, make a comment, or you can get on weddingfirstdancelessons.com and send us a message. So those are just some of the things that we do. We also have group classes here in studio. For Valentine's Day, we're doing a dirty dancing party. We do it every year. It always sells out. It's super fun. So again, if you're local to Chicago, come check that out. Otherwise, feel free to ask us any questions, and we hope that we will see you in the subscription program. Again, super fun, a lot of content, and we'll be doing exclusive live streams like this for new styles and different things that you can do with styles every month. So that'll be something else that we are offering, and it'll be a great program, especially if you are wanting to learn from the comfort of your own home. So let's go ahead and do one more song. We're gonna do a little dancing to music. I'm gonna double check and make sure if we have any questions. Looks like we've got someone else from Australia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, probably not snowing where you are. Maybe it is, but it's pretty gnarly over here. So let's go ahead and dance to some music, and then yeah, that'll be all about it from us for tonight. Let's go ahead and do a little freestyling. And again, we're going to start just freestyling, but if you want to stick to that pattern we were doing before, go ahead and do that if that's what you feel comfortable with. If you want to test your leading and following just a little bit, go ahead and no pattern, just go for it. All right, we may have been showing off there a little bit at the end, but that's just a little bit more of what you can learn in the Foxtrot. And that dip at the end is something that we offer in our subscription program. So make sure to get on our website, again, weddingfirstdancelessons.com. Check that out. And if you are local to Chicago, we hope to see you in the studio soon. But we're going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are so excited to continue to offer some of these live streams to our members because these are super fun for us to do, especially once we start to do some of the more intricate work like combining those styles, doing some lifts and tricks and dips and all of those things. So we're very excited to start that up for you. Let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for tuning in.